Okay, hello guys, ilu. Kita watch party Valorant guys, oke?
The composition,
but it's not common in their
It's
scrims.
not common. It's one team. I don't even think they ran in split two. And so when it's up to Vitality, yeah, and we're gonna see it coming out here.
Nothing changes.
It's all unsafe to be able to get ahead of this stuff. It's only just the Sova to clear him out. He needs to get that op up. He needs to get it fast, but he's on attack at the start here.
Yeah, he has such a chip on his shoulder as a player. He's been to multiple international events. He's only gotten 2 wins on the global stage. His last win was his second in a long time. And facing up against Sociabuzz and the incredibly strong side anchors of Leviathan, King and Tex. I think he has a lot to do on this attacking side, especially with that harbor util we're talking about in front of him.
I'll just highlight Safe one last time here. He's going to be the person that on the attack side, he's going to get in their faces and jack them up before the retake can come in for Leviathan.
Yeah, it's going to be a tall task on either side of the field, but it's going to be an exciting matchup. It's now time for map 1. Let's go ahead and send it over to your casters. Always ready for a solid fit check. It's my boys, Doug and Baby Bay.
Thank you so much, Chibi. Dre, we bring and we get to see the conclusion of Group C today between these two squads. I think Mimi mentioned it on the desk. She was the one who brought it up, and I think Steel made a lot of really good points too. This is not a comp. This double wall comp that Vitality are about to have to reckon with is not something that's common in EMEA.
Yeah, and maybe they've scrimmed against it, but in terms of matches, the only thing that they've played against recently is the solo Smoke Harbor, and that was against Carmine Corp, in which they did take the series, but it's so different when you have firepower behind this harbor wall like Sociabuzz and Tex. These are 2 players that have shined for the side of Leviathan on this map and have made Icebox their stomping grounds.
A map that they are comfortable with, a map that is a strength of theirs.
Oke, run pertama.
Seems like they may be
dengan tim
they're
Leviathan.
already moving up across the middle of the map.
Vitality
Tex is
attacker.
first to fall.
Nah, bisa mendapatkan Tex di sini kita lihat di mid. Oke,
Desk was
shot dari suara tangan Sova.
Safe in particular needing to be the one
Posisi
to get
sekarang jadi
Vitality
5
online.
lawan
That's a
4
great
teman-teman
start.
kita lihat di sini.
And that's something you see
Aspas
Tex do quite a bit on this map. He plays that killjoy mainly like a duelist. A lot of the times it's the
Dan dia
control of
melihat
that
satu
mid
pick.
space.
Oke,
Sociabuzz is
gagal.
going to take some
Tapi
pop
terkena
shots
satu
down
hit
the
dari
fall of that
Shive
angle,
dan
but
Low.
he's got to get something working for his team right here.
He is by himself so far. We're
Dikeluarkan
starting to see the harbor
oleh
utility go up.
Mazino, Gecko, flash kicks.
Must post it up behind it. The dart's really
Dua
nice to make
orang.
sure that there's no one who's disrespected the wall.
Spam
So
dari
they can play
Gecko dan
ahead of
Dispa
it.
pada
Play a little
Dapat
more
dah.
aggressively. Really
Oke,
nice
kill juga
shots
dapat
on Calm
2
already.
kill dipakai oleh kami lihat di sini.
The dink on to save. He cleans 2 up.
What great awareness from him to just span, track him through the wall like that. It's almost like he had X-ray vision in that moment. What a prediction from Calm already early on.
Now it's going to force Vitality to take a step back.
Apakah Harbor
But look
dan
at
juga Sova
the
bisa
movement
mendapatkan
from Leviathan, the
Viper?
proactivity. They're meeting him.
They're a step ahead of it.
Oke, timing.
Calm's gotta be
Timing.
careful.
Oh no.
Crossers
Oke,
facing the
tidak
wrong
kalah.
way.
Sender
That
berhasil
will be a
mendapatkan
punish
2.
from
Pop
Sender.
dan juga oke. Dan
The
King
punch
balas
right
lagi.
back at the exact
Wesley Trap.
best time.
Go King.
3 for King, 2 for Calm, the
Let's
pistol for
go.
Lev.
King.
What a
Our
play from the
king, basically our
ITL. He was
king,
the
guys.
solo
Let's go.
warrior on A, pushing through by his lonesome. Everybody else meeting the face of Vitality's fighting squad in mid. And it was looking really good for Vitality from
Sebuah
start to
kalp
finish
yang
of that
sangat
round
menarik
until
dari
King
King
got
ini
that
kita lihat.
flank and just got the job done. Look at this
Wah,
tracking
King
through the wall. Just what a prediction from Calm. That's so impactful.
Okay.
And the poise from King.
Last kill lah.
Oftentimes, we talk about King a
my
lot in
God.
terms of his macro, ID
told you,
is
good
great,
enough.
but his individual performances on this roster, it's also something that is shining for the squad.
Oke. Drone
Drone
awal.
does spot out
Drone
Ospas,
info
but
di atas yellow.
when you're playing a jet on this map, you can
Sova dan
try to
Gecko ketahuan
punish
di B-main.
other players, but I
Ini
don't know if
sekarang.
he is aware that Safe is going to have
Nico
an
di
outlaw
bawah
of his
Sova.
own with light armor.
Berhasil dihancurkan. 4 orang di area B-main.
With King close
He'll
by,
be a flank
Mazino
dari A.
rotating over.
Apakah saya bisa mendapatkan 1 di sini?
No challenge yet, so the dash will expire.
Mereka main hold, main pelan-pelan, mulai rotate
It's
kembali.
big as you think about Vitality
Pelan-pelan,
trying to get
3
out
orang
onto
sudah
the
di
side.
B-side.
Safe trying to
Menahan
get
dan
out onto the
mereka
side as well.
akan 1 orang nge-push untuk
Yeah,
mencari
he's
info
just going
apakah
to be
mereka
here
akan
trying to get a
di B-main.
pick while the main
Mereka
focus
sudah
of
rotate.
Vitality is to make noise at A, bait out a rotation or
Killjoy
bait
di
out a
sini.
re-clear
4 orang
peek
sudah di A.
of Leviathan at
Tex
B main.
dan juga Com
It
sudah
shouldn't be a
menjaga
full commitment
A side.
for Vitality here at A site. I think they're going to just put a lot of pressure on it,
Mereka
a lot of
di sini,
utility,
Saif,
a lot of
Saif
noise.
berusaha mencari kill. Masih berusaha mencari kill
Dark goes
di
off, but
yellow.
it doesn't tag anybody, and
Tadi
they
bisa
don't clear it
mendapatkan
either.
kill Harbor atau
So it was
di
wise
kill
timing
oleh
out from
Harbor.
Calm.
Oke. Lex, oke, dapat 1 kill.
Positions
2 kill,
confirmed.
3 kill. Oke.
Tex gets
3
through the
kill, let's
third
go.
fall.
Kelihatan teks.
And so things really kind of crumbled for Vitality here. The only weapon that they had, as you mentioned, was the Outlaw. Will not find a kill.
Okay, nice. Flawless. Flawless dari
Cruising
tim
their way
Leviathan
towards their second.
And that's tough now, because that's an upgrade actually for the side of Leviathan. That's not something you say every day going into an anti-eco round that you can get an upgrade. Dropping the Spectre for that gun, you're going to take that any time of the day. It's worth way more. It's way more tactical on gun rounds.
Okay.
It seems like it could be, especially on a map like this with such large sight lines. Icebox is such an aim dually type of map.
Aspaso, our god.
Look, there's two members of Vitality that have light armor. If they're the forefront, or if they get caught out, it's going to be bad.
Lineup shock dari
You wouldn't expect them
Trax di sini
to
kita
be
lihat.
the forefront, to be the ones pushing
Naik
forward, given
bom.
who they are
Dan
and the
darah
agents that
menjadi
they're playing, but
69
you're right.
tanpa shield.
Losing them would be so painful.
Ikon berhasil korban.
Again, the refreshing of the harbor utility, the wall going up towards A.
Aspas
Vitality
menjaga Bimen
just
dengan
expecting
pick dari
some of that
situ.
mid pressure that we saw on the pistol.
Yeah, they're pinging this. This is all spots that Tex likes to push down on his lonesome often. This time just more standardized team play from Leviathan. Aspas versus Sender. This is that
Apakah dia bisa
I was
membunuh
talking about earlier.
Really nice pathing and timing from Sender,
Sender?
though.
Apakah mati
Tucking
Aspas lawan
behind the
Sender?
box
Kita lihat
as this wall goes
satu
down.
martial, satu stinger.
Does Aspas know?
I mean, he has an idea.
Oke, ketahuan satu situ.
Can't
Oke,
quite
wallbang
connect.
sudah kena. Oke.
Gets some
Dan
nice
Viper
damage
Kretek dengan
though. Sender sitting at
51
50 HP now.
left.
They rotate back towards A. Remember, this
Rotate
would be a
ke A.
bonus converted if Leviathan are able to pull it off, and it's
Saif
not a
akan
weak
masuk,
one
Saif.
either.
Dia sudah dinyalakan.
Especially in these
Masuk
tight
dalam
fights on A
side.
with how chaotic the site can be. You've got the
Bisa
Stinger,
disimpan
you've got the
dashnya.
Spectre.
Karena dia tidak
And
tahu
you just
Kinsey di
cycle
mana dan
walls
sedangkan Harpoon
infinitely,
di
it
mana.
feels like.
Yeah, you're forced to challenge these walls.
30 seconds
Oh, but with 30
left.
seconds left, I don't know if there's much time to
Mau
go elsewhere. You've got
mau
Cinder who's
dia
trying to
dinyalakan.
post up across
Oke,
the middle of the
Sofa
map.
mati kom di
Combo
sini.
fall.
Apakah bisa membunuh
Texto posted
satu
up
at least
close.
dengan stingernya? Oke.
Now, 15 seconds
Ah,
left. The
Gekko
clock
nyolo.
continues to tick.
Tidak bisa
Really
di-trap.
nice opening frags out from Kicks and Runner, but with 13 seconds
Gekkonya
left, the spike's still not
47
planted.
HP. 3 melawan 2.
10 seconds left.
Sender 51
Little bit of
darah,
space
Gekko
taken now.
47 dan Jet 89 dengan shield 26.
So Spike finally does commit. They've got the
Gekko
ult to
akan
play
ulti
around
di sini.
too.
Kicks apakah ke
It's a very
City
quick
dan
crash. King is definitely going to get detained here. Oh wait, he wraps it back around.
tidak
But he
mendapat
can't pick that up
terkena
now.
oleh
These Outlaws.
Gekko.
They're going to be holding that line.
Available untuk tim Leviathan.
Vitality, they're all in one-shot range right now. These Outlaws could do some serious
Semua corner
damage.
di sek.
Aspas creeping forward. No dash.
Wah, kanannya akan mat. Oke. Dia tidak boleh pixel lah.
Difficult. It feels
Makanya
very
pixel.
labored.
Wah, nggak kelihatan tuh.
Good discipline from Vitality in this
Waduh.
goals plan so far, not
Gila,
giving an
kicksnya.
inch.
Yeah, I like that a lot. You're right.
Waduh. Mati.
Aspas
Oke,
now
kick
pushing
stop.
forward. Kicks
Let's go.
taken care of. Dealt
Wah,
with.
no time.
But
Wah.
instantly responded.
Oke, good bonus untuk tim Leviathan
It was a
karena
very
berhasil
cool
menekan
timing that Sender took
tiga.
all the way up middle on his
Sebuah
lonesome
bonus.
after taking that 1v1 against Aspas who just couldn't connect. He got a couple classic
Vitality.
shots, some damage onto him. But that timing made it so there was an A split in full effect.
Skor menjadi 2-1. Apakah di sini akan menjadi game sengit atau justru Leviathan akan
And the approach from
bantai?
Vitality, I like how they're working the
Itu
entirety of the
sebaliknya.
map.
Yeah.
That dart, late dart on Tom, he just wasn't ready for that. And yeah, the gun advantage working fully in favor for Vitality.
And you know, we were talking about how with these walls, you're kind of forced to. You're gonna have to flash through it. You're gonna have to get past it and disrespect it in some way.
Line up shock dan
And it
untuk
just so
Outlaw
happened
di
that in
sini
that round,
pada kena
the gun rules were the ones that made the
Gekko
difference.
flash early.
Aspas has an off
Di atas
online.
kotak. Oke, Aspas
With
menggunakan
Goop in his face, has to take a step
operator
back
di
and
sini untuk pick
reposition.
nest.
Meanwhile,
At
again,
bat,
Leviathan
maksudnya.
encroaching up across the rest of the map. You've
Baiklah.
got Kamus
Oke,
taking
dapatkan
space
Jet.
mid. Safe
Apakah
is
bisa
already
mendapat satu lagi?
dead.
Daerah belt. Ataukah dia akan mendapatkan di A main?
This is one of the first
Oke,
rounds
sebuah
Aspas has been
free
geared
fire
up towards A
dengan
side.
HP-nya Aspas di sini.
A lot
Dia
of the
masih
times
bermain
when he has
aman
the
sekali.
operator online as well, when you do prep work
Hyper
against
commit dan
Leviathan, you
mulai
see him
ke
towards
arah
B
A
main.
Apakah mereka akan pull up on
Take
rotate
that whole
atau mereka
entire
akan
line and then
commit ke arah A side
Leviathan
di
will
sini?
stack
Karena
A
Viper
side.
dari King
That's
sudah
why
mendapatkan
Vitality was
arah
trying to contact
B
all the way up,
main.
but they got met by the
Karena
operator.
singgah satu jalan
Aspas is not going to whiff
antara
shots like
mid
that.
atau ke A main. Kita di sini.
Not when there's so much on the line.
I mean, this attack side for
Baiklah.
Vitality has been so
Mungkin karena di
slow,
30
and I
mereka akan
don't
baru
even necessarily say that in a bad way. I just think
Atau di
the
20
approach
mereka
that they've
baru
had
akan
to this has been
Dua
very
rekor,
tempered,
mencari
very
info.
methodical.
Daerah corner
They've been doing a
depan
good
tidak
job of trying to
ada,
bait out
tapi
the
daerah corner
timings of the
belakang
harbor
mereka
walls
tidak
and the
mengecek
Viper
hal itu.
walls. then executing right after that with utility.
Dapat 1 kill Aspas. Oke.
Thing is, you cannot wait forever.
4 lawan 3.
That's another kill found for the
Apakah
op.
bisa mendapatkan kill lagi di sini
King is
Aspas?
denying a lot of this
Atau
space
akan
speed. Not that
dibunuh
there's really any time to
oleh
rotate away, but they're going to have to deal with the crunch. The alarm bot will keep them back if he decides to commit to this full rotate.
Apakah bisa mendapatkan killjoy? Oh, dia sebenarnya killjoy di arah sebelah kiri lebih tepatnya.
King is taking so long on his way back, deciding not to flank.
Oke. Dibunuh apakah akan
Leaving
dibunuh
things
oleh
to the
Aspas?
3v3 on the side. Remember,
Wow,
Aspas is weak
okay.
with the op in hand.
Let's
It's going to go
dari seorang.
traded 1-for-1. Sender dealing with the
Oke.
turret, but not
Dua
able to deal
kill
with
di sini
Tex.
kita. 3 lawan 1. Apakah
Now it's Trex who's left in a 1v3. King is finally joined the
dia
fray.
hanya tinggal untuk menunggukan waktu.
Trex has way too many things to deal with here. Yeah, there are a couple of members
Back lagi
weak,
pas
but
skena mah.
this feels like a
Welcome,
really
Denhani.
difficult
Sudah
task.
keluar, guys.
One
Oke,
member
oke.
over the
Oke,
top, and
sebuah
that was a one
strafe.
given. Perhaps
Tapi
ill-advised,
gagal berhasil
but
dibunuh
the
oleh
spit cleans it up.
King di sini.
Yeah, the numbers
Our
game, it was
team
just in
is
favor for Leviathan. They played to their advantage to a T. And they're going to play like this a lot in this half. Be looking forward to every time they get a first blood, they'll play on that second, maybe even third layer, and play like a retake style. The Harbor and Viper combo, it's so good, especially if Mazzino is still alive for the retake. You can isolate so many angles on A site, on B site with that Harbor wall. And Aspas, he's just going to hold a line for his team while everybody creeps up forward.
I think the difficult thing will be to continue to see how Vitality decide to play on the knife's edge of these walls. Right, because you see it, they creep up about as close as they can, and then it's like they kind of stumble, I guess, or indecisive on how they want to approach it. They try to play their timings as best as they can, and they just haven't found much success.
Oke, sebuah spray. Blind
That's
spray
a tough
Com
one.
dengan
That's your smokes player
mempresentakan
gone
Chamber
right
di
off the
sini.
rip. Com,
Sehingga tim
his
dari
intuition was
Vitality
on
tidak
point right
memiliki
there,
smoke
spamming away the drone to follow
ke
up.
arah B-side.
Safe, he has no dash because of that.
2 Guardians left for Vitality.
Mereka
They've gotten a little bit of space here.
Yeah, it's so awkward though. Everyone's
dengan
just
Aspas
corralled
masih
in
dengan
mid.
operator nge-pick ke arahnya.
Aspas just now picking it
Tapi
up.
Saif sudah berhasil mendapatkan
But
kitchennya.
Leviathan, they're okay with giving
Dan
this
clear
space and they're
sekali.
aware of the gaps that they've created.
Yeah. They're just kind of
Dibantu
leaning into
dengan
the limits. They're
pick
okay.
di sini.
You're absolutely right. They're okay with giving this up
Kitchen.
because they know that they're
Ketika
still
mereka
strong
mendapatkan
elsewhere.
kitchen,
They can afford to
clear.
give this area up.
Mereka akan
Yeah,
nge-push
and
ke
even
arah
if
City atau
Vitality
ke
make it
arah
all the way to B site, there's
Heaven.
crossfires, right?
B-side, guys.
A player in yellow, that's Mazzino, Com, all the way in Snowman.
Mereka nge-push ke arah City, tapi di sini Com
And once a
apakah bisa
player makes
mendapatkan 1 kill di
contact,
sini?
Aspas will
Bunuh
come
Saif.
all the way back, pick this up.
Terus itu dia dibunuh oleh
So
Saif.
many different crossfires in full
Oke,
effect here.
ternyata Saif play disiplin, tidak
They just
ingin
had to
terlalu
dart back
jauh.
spawn,
Mereka
too.
mulai pelan-pelan ke bis karena waktu sudah berjalan
And so this
30
contact
detik
style
lagi.
again will be the play for Vitality.
It's such a
Mazzino
slow approach.
berhasil
I really
mendapatkan
like it.
yellow.
Oftentimes in
Dan
matches like
juga
this, in
King
high
berhasil
pressure
mendapatkan D-man.
situations, that slow play can make
Selain
mistakes.
berhasil didapatkan oleh
Opposite
Kicks
team.
dengan
Dude,
linknya
this is
di
just
sini.
so tough.
Apakah
Again,
bisa
they don't
menang?
have any walls, they
Tidak.
don't have any
3
smokes.
orang di kitchen, tapi
That's a great pick though.
Aspas hanya melakukan 1 info.
That's one for runner.
Aspas only has an op. Leviathan, they're so worried about all these different angles they have to clear.
Well, I think that's part of the doubt that's instilled when you've been sitting and staring at the map that's been quiet this whole time.
Saif
way.
dan
I thought Safe was going to get away. Aspas dashing forward through the window into kitchen.
Sofa 1, 2, 3
Concealed by the smoke, but Trex is waiting just on the other side. Really nicely done. King's got the defuse to half. Can he deal with the gunfire on the other side? Not yet. Com's going to have to do it on his own. And it's going to have to be an ace if he can pull it off. Swings into 2 and he cannot. A MasterCard thrifty for Vitality.
3-2.
That slow approach, I said
sangat
it,
close
right?
runner untuk mati karena dengan
Oftentimes
5
in
HP.
high pressure moments like this, elimination on the line, when you slow rounds down like that, it puts doubt in the enemy team. That retake was so slow from Leviathan. They didn't want to make any corners be unturned, and the time worked against them. Vitality were able to formulate a plan,
Last bulan tuh Trex
Nice.
kepala.
This is how we do
and that
it.
was
We do it.
taken
Volley,
out,
ulti,
Tex,
tube from A.
and basically icing Aspas. The 2 A players were so isolated, so worried about pushing up.
I wonder how much longer this war of attrition can go on.
Dan
Who's going to get
dan
antsy? It seemed
tidak
like it might have been
mendapatkan
Aspas
kill,
there.
tapi
Quick
Gecko di sini dengan
response from
20
Kicks.
HP-nya.
But shot.
5 lawan 4 dengan Gecko
Vitality's
dan
warming up
Yeti.
now.
Winnable untuk tim Elevator
The
di sini
attack
karena
side
dia
off
sudah
in
low.
the hands of Safe. And Pistols attempting to stand strong on the other side.
Baiklah, mereka mulai bermain pelan-pelan karena Killjoy dari
And then again,
tim
just a freeze to the
Vitality.
round. Waiting for any
Menjaga
mistakes
push
Leviathan
dari
are going to make.
B-mainnya untuk
This is
menjaga
good. They
flame
understand
juga
they have
sekaligus.
gun advantage.
Sofa menjaga
And Leviathan are
Jet
most
di
likely going to
sini.
want to push and try to even up the
Gecko
score.
menjaga push dari kanan. Karena Jet tidak
Especially
bisa
given the
main
weaponry
counter
that they
kita.
have. I mean, yeah, why not?
Baiklah.
Got an
Tex berada di
attack
atas
operator in
410.
play for safe.
Apakah dia akan
He'll
nge-push
probably
ke arah
transfer
pipe?
that once the side exec comes through.
Waktu 48
The
detik
thing
lagi.
is here though for Vitality is
Baiklah,
you're right,
operator
it's safe
diberikan
hands
kepada
over the
Tex di
weaponry.
sini karena darahnya
They're
low.
pushing into
Pada akan
all
mati
four.
oleh Tex. Oh,
They're gonna find one. That's a jump scare moment. But that's all it is. The safe dashes forward. Mazzino will fall as well. These pistols just really not able to stand up to the firepower on the other
Akan
side.
menjadi flawless untuk tim. Oke, ternyata King bisa melakukan 1 kill.
Of course, it's a
2 kill.
classic
Oh,
that
ternyata
gets a
gagal.
kill in the face of everything else. But Vitality ties us up at 3, and I think as we continue to see how this will play out, Dre, 4 ults on the side of Vitality and the op still. Sorry, make that 5. They've got a full house.
That's so crazy. This is Kick's second ult. Remember, he used it in that first gun round that they had.
Yeah.
And they converted that.
Bisa kita lihat di sini kalau bahwa tim Vitality bermainnya
What's impressive to me so far from
slow,
Vitality
karena
is
mereka
the
masih di
approach
detik-detik
and the game
akhir.
plan.
Di
They
under
understand
one
that they
nih,
have to
mereka
go
boleh
in
masuk
waves
karena
and layers.
Di awal
Once that
mereka
hard wall comes up, we have to
bermain
freeze,
untuk cari-
wait for
cari
our
kill,
utility.
guys.
But they understand their win condition. That's how you have to play against the
kali
harbor
ini tim
comp.
Vitality akan ke arah mid dengan ulti dari
It's a time
Saif.
game.
Apakah
Yeah,
akan
and it
dash?
definitely seemed like all the
Short
conversations
early
that we
dari
had
Tom
about would they
ke
be
arah
prepared
mid.
to deal with this
Molly
double
juga
wall
dikeluarkan
comp.
untuk membunuh
It
Tur
seems
dari
like the response is to burn down the clock as long as they
satu
can,
Molly runner sudah terpakai untuk
to play
membunuh
around those
Tur
timings as you were just
dari
mentioning.
Tex di sini.
And that's the thing, right?
Saif
When you're running this
menggunakan
double
operator, nge-pick ke arah
controller
mid.
comp, you can almost just want to use it off the rip. You know, your rechargeables. Oh, I'm just going to get it back.
Ada
Yeah,
orang
sure.
di arah
But
mid
Vitality
tadi.
are taking
Sayangnya
advantage
tidak
when that harbor
terkena
wall
di
comes
corner.
down and when that
Apakah
Viper
akan
wall
mulai
goes
balik
up.
dan midnya ditinggalkan begitu saja. Oh my god.
It's been such a
Dua orang di
pleasure
arah B-main
to
karena
watch
mereka
so
tahu.
far.
Yeah, it's just such a
Berarti
unique
golnya
approach.
ada di mid atau
Because
nggak
oftentimes you
arah
see
A.
these walls and you go, okay, they're just going to flash through it and they're going to fight and they're going to find a way to
Heaven
get
dan
there.
terkena ke
King's
arah
going to get
King
detained, but
di sini.
should be able to stay safe. The pit's still a factor as Sender is already creeping up across the middle of the map. He's going to find a kill on
Dan
Tex
juga
for
berhasil
getting.
membunuh King.
That's King, that's the
Oh my
pit.
god, di Viper kah kita lihat di sini?
King was detained, remember?
Plan dengan Wingman,
I thought he was safe enough to where it wouldn't be a problem, but an excellent punish.
Aspas tidak tahu
Vitality
dia
got
ada
through
mid.
that with
Apakah
only
Aspas
investing
bisa
one ult.
dibunuh oleh
That was another prep
runner
work
di sini atau
round.
runner akan
Seriously.
Dude, I don't know that Lev are going to be able to
dibunuh oleh
make their
Aspas.
way back
Satu,
into this
dua,
round.
tiga,
And
dan
it's just gotten worse
Aspas
with
sudah
Mazzino going down.
terauguat,
No, they're
oke.
getting hunted.
2 lawan
Trex.
4. Apakah masih
He's
winnable?
next up.
Dan apakah dimati?
Boss, a little bit aware.
Oke, ternyata dimati oleh Trex di sini. Ring.
And Trex, he's been
So,
so good all
buat
tournament
Trex yang
long.
sangat
So I'm not surprised that he's winning head-to-head against Aspas, even though Aspas is
Okay,
you know,
Sender,
well-renowned
tahu
as one of
infonya.
the best duelists in the world.
Masih ada nih. Oke, berhasil dibunuh. 1
Calm
melawan
is actually
3.
having quite a game.
Dan
You will keep the weapon going into the next as Vitality take the lead. I imagine there's got to be a timeout called here relatively soon. On the side of Leviathan, Vitality showed up to the stage today with a game plan, and they're working it to perfection.
Yeah, and they knew into that round that King, if he invests that Viper's pit, he's going to play in that back part of heaven. That's why you saw 3 players already geared up towards mid, and that Thrash going all the way to detain him. He can't go anywhere at that moment.
Oh, but
He
I
doesn't
mean,
want to leave the pit, so there's only one spot for Sender to look at and just spam.
Yeah, you're right. He did have nowhere to go if he wanted to keep that pit
Seperti
up.
biasa,
Right on cue,
Aspas
Leviathan
selalu
does
tidur,
call a
guys.
timeout. Down 1 round. And I wonder here, I mean, what's the adjustments that Leviathan have to make? Because I can't imagine Vitality, given how all of the success that they've had in the last 5 rounds, I can't imagine their approach changing much.
Well, I think it's clear by now for Leviathan that they're getting hard countered. So they're going to need to change their own game plan, change their own defaults, maybe their own timings. And maybe you can be a little bit aggressive into this round, you know, specifically. Your guns are kind of whack, but you do have jet knives online for Aspas. But I just feel like Vitality right now, they have such a good read on the game and a good read on how Leviathan like to play this defensive side. Unless Leviathan change something drastically, it's going to be very tough to crawl back into this.
Next round, guys. Round ke-8 di sini
For as
kita
much
lihat.
as Ades was talking about how Icebox is a strength of Leviathan's and probably their strongest strength.
It is. They're
First-
12-3 on Icebox this year.
I mean, they've been made.
Mereka
I mean, they've
tim
been made
Vitality
fools
akan
of in the
main
last 5
split
rounds.
lagi. Seperti biasa mencari info, mencari kill dan masuk di detik-detik.
They've got
under
Calm
1
with a
minute.
rifle here, full armor. The prized possession carried over from the last, and as you were mentioning, I imagine Aspas will pop the knives.
Sebuah wall early dari
Maybe waiting for some
Mazzino
audio cue.
agar mereka
First
jadi
harbor wall
takut dari
goes up.
tim Vitality untuk push. Tapi
This time they're ahead of it.
Vitality terlalu
King's
berani
on the other
untuk push. Dan
side.
Vitality
What a
satu kill.
shot.
King
Just
satu
one,
kill
but-
dan 2 kill keduanya berhasil
It's a small win.
dibunuh oleh King di sini. 4 lawan 4.
question is here, do they
Dari tim
accelerate? Do they
Leviathan
fully
half
send over
buy
to B?
bisa kita lihat karena mereka
A lot of teams do in this moment when you have good advantage.
memastikan bahwa next round bisa membeli
Even in yesterday's
rifle.
match, we saw Sentinels do the same thing.
Down 4 bom di plan oleh Wingman berhasil di cancel oleh Mazino.
Cascade will make it so
Fingernya,
Mazino can break
Operator
that.
sudah mendapatkan info bahwa tim
Dizzy.
Vitality
Yeah, Wingman not
Safe
able to
menggunakan
accomplish the mission.
Operator.
Apology.
Yellow sudah di secure oleh Safe dengan Operator.
another freeze
for the round. Snowman.
I'm surprised they're
Killjoy
missing
ulti
lockdown here.
dikeluarkan oleh Runner
I just don't like what's
agar
above.
tidak ada yang berani bermain di set dari tim
Oh, those knives can't connect.
Leviathan, tetapi
Aspas has to get out of there quickly.
satu pedangnya.
A little bit of a pop shot
Untuk
there.
membunuh
Calm, he does
Jet
break that
di sini.
alarm bot, but he's going back to
Spike
reconvene with his
Tapi
team.
Aspas di sini berani.
So as has
untuk
been the
Kitchen.
case for Vitality
Satu
this
bisa
entire
ketahuan.
half, they wait things out and then they go,
Ultinya
yeah,
Aspas
one player got detained, but it was all for naught.
Push Yellow.
You've got the alarm bot that's intended to control the flank if they decide to explore across the middle of the map. As Aspas, again, still with blades online. And Leviathan continue to push forward. Now with the lockdown of their own, that is going to bait out Trex's ult. And it will clear it out. A tit for tat. But now what? They're investing the Reckoning into this as well. Remember, they didn't have very much as far as weapons go. They had the knives, a Vandal, and a Stinger. But that might have been all they needed. It's runners left alone. In a 1v3, make that 2. Time short, 8 bullets left. Mazino's going to have to hold this. Aspas over the top. The blades will clean it up. And the defuse just barely comes through.
Berhasil dimenangkan oleh
Mastercard
Leviathan di skor
thrifty.
jadi 4-4. Operator
What a
dibuang
round
begitu saja
from
oleh Chef dan
Leviathan.
diberikan kepada Aspas
It
di
was
sini kita
such
lihat.
a slow approach. I thought surely
Aspas
Vitality
berhasil
were going to have
mengcover
that one in the bag, and that was 2
Mazino
ults
ketika
invested as
defuse
well.
pokoknya.
The lockdown, the Hunter's Fury,
Kunai-
and it was all for
kunainya,
naught.
guys. Our God,
Aspas
God.
with the knives,
Let's go one tap.
suppressing fire from the top as that defuse came through. And yeah, as soon as Aspas gets a couple kills in B main, Mazino opts to use that Harbor ultimate. Big investments from
Oke,
both
mereka
sides,
ke
but
arah
ultimately
Demon semua stack
Leviathan
5
come out
ke arah
on top,
Demon.
and they
Oh
needed
enggak,
that
stack
one
4,
bad.
sorry. Oke, dapat info Viper
Now they're
arah
back on steadier footing.
B. Player B.
Again, an
Masih
op in the
ketik
hands of the
dari
defense.
King. King masih berusaha untuk mendapatkan
Hit
satu
for
kill,
Sender, and
mencari
again,
kill.
we were talking about this
Karena
because
sangat
once Kix gets his
minimal
ult
sekali
up,
ketika
this
sudah
will be
melakukan
his
satu kill dan
third of
5
the half.
That's obnoxious.
They're really min-maxing them. Which again is, I mean, that's one of the strengths of
Macam
Gecko.
yellow.
It makes a ton of sense.
Oh, dia cek belakang. Oke.
Especially
Oh,
with the way that
udah dicek.
Leviathan like to play around the
Plan
harbor
oleh
walls.
Wingman
If you get caught out
dan
behind
Bom
that
juga
by,
plan
you know, that
pada tim Vitality dan tim Leviathan
little
bermain di
guy,
sini kita.
you're gonna get punished.
Aspas masih ke arah Snowman.
A pit invested.
Viper
Is there a
ulti dari
response on the other side? No ultimates to speak
center.
of for the defense.
Oh, dari
Safe
King.
getting pushed off the angle, and
tempatnya.
Mazino's going to fill in right behind it. The
Oke,
dart is
Mazino
good.
gagal mendapatkan kill.
Aspas getting
mendapatkan
2
dua
with the
kill.
op.
Apakah bisa mendapatkan 1 kill lagi di sini?
He's now pushing forward. But again, the pit is in play. It's still something it has to
Ulti
be
siapa
dealt
sih?
with.
Oh, ulti
There's
center,
Thrash.
benar ulti center.
And it's so tricky to find.
Oke.
There's no dash
Ah,
for you to get
Aspas
out of
terkena
there. Did
ulti
they
di
tag
sini.
both?
Apakah King bisa
Tex
cover?
pushing forward. Sender falls. That's going to be the pick going down as
Bom
well.
sudah
Comes down
half.
the defuse to half.
Dan
Make
di
that
stick.
3/4 of the way.
Apakah bisa menang?
He's
Dan
going to stick
menang.
it.
What
It's going to
the
come
heck?
through. Leviathan takes the lead back.
What the heck?
And Aspas cleans up the
What
round.
the
Can we get a
heck?
replay of that
Berani.
collapse
Tadi
that he
siapa
got?
yang
That
stick
was just
combat?
a random pop shot through the smoke,
Siapa yang ngasih
through the
tadi?
pit. And Thrash
siapa
was
yang stick?
invested,
Kom yang stick ya?
Pit was invested.
Moninya salah ya? Oh, pantesan.
Look at this.
Itu darahnya kurang
No
karena dia.
way.
Ah, blind shot mendapatkan 2, guys.
Yeah. All right.
Can't make that up.
Wah,
All right.
waktu itu.
Just
Yeah,
unlucky, and the molly being a little
Oh,
bit off, what, like a
Aspas dengan
centimeter
4 kill ya
off
di
as well.
sini kita lihat.
Allowing
Our
for the
God.
stick to come through.
Goat.
That's a tough pill to swallow if you're Vitality.
Into the next we go.
Go.
Safe deciding to go with the attack side op once more.
I can't believe Vitality can still invest after the way they've been losing the last couple of rounds.
And they, I mean, it's not just this round either. They've
Oke,
got a
satu
little
orang
pad to play
ketahuan di
on.
arah mid yaitu dari Tex di sini.
Tex
Kena
has
attack
been
dengan
checked
70 HP dan
all
2
map
shot.
long
ball.
around mid. In the most common angles that he likes to hold is off angles.
Mereka mulai bermain slow dari tim Vitality di sini. Mereka akan masuk under 1 minute.
Drone is
Early
used.
Drone mendapatkan info
get
bahwa
info.
Kicks
Only
juga ada
Kicks
di
seen.
aim. Tapi
Leviathan's
Jet di
still
sini
not aware that
ketahuan
there's an
posisi
attack
Jet.
operator in
Kecuali
play,
Jet
and
yang
King
bakal-
will get the
Dan
head-to-head
King
against
mendapatkan kill
Sender.
untuk membunuh Sender di sini kita
And
lihat.
so again,
Diva
the attack
John.
side is forced to figure out how they find success on getting the spike down and holding onto the post plant without their controller.
And with that dart being, you know, shot in full effect,
40
getting
detik
info,
menuju
they see that Safe had an
0,
operator as well.
0, 0.
He did not switch to his classic
Early
or
drone
anything of the sort.
dari Trex untuk mendapatkan info apakah di sana ada orang.
So King
Tetapi
needs to be
Yellow
very, very careful in this
dicek
moment.
apakah dia akan recon
And
Yellow.
look at how far back he's playing.
Dari Sender.
But if he tries to actually take a 1v1 and not hold an off
King
angle,
masih menjaga
he can get picked by that
B-side
operator. That's why he's playing
dari
this
arah
passive.
Yeah, he's got to play his life here.
King di sini akan menunggu temannya mendapat 1 kill.
But it's a
Apakah
tempting
kill kedua dia
swing,
dapat?
it's a
Oke.
tempting barrel
2
found, and
kill.
he's going to find
1 kill lagi.
2-3 on
Oke,
the
satu
round.
operator dari
Almost tapping
Saif.
away onto the
Apakah akan
forward
mati?
safe with the
Oh,
open
mati
hand.
oleh
Yes, he's
sang
going to
operator
connect,
dari
but
tenaga.
I don't know if he's able to get the spike down. I
Oke.
don't think he can.
Kill kedua untuk
Maybe
membunuh
now. No,
Lexi.
you got to
3
save no matter
melawan
what.
2. Apakah masih winnable untuk tim Leviathan? Apakah ini menjadi save untuk tim
Is
Leviathan?
able to dash away though, so
Jadi
he'll
save
carry
untuk
that
tim
into the
Leviathan.
next.
Tidak
But
ada waktu lagi dan
for as
mereka
much as we were
ingin
talking
kalah.
about King needing to
Dan
be safe,
mati
needing
oleh
to stay
Mazino karena
alive,
timing ketika
to
dia
lock
scope
it down.
tidak kelihatan
He
bahwa
gets
Mazino
2-3
sudah
first
push di bawah
troubles.
dia.
King solo anchored that B site. He won the
King,
head-to-head
our
against Sender, and then those
King.
one taps, they were crispy, they were clean.
Wah, King blind shotnya sangat bagus.
It was very neat work.
For
There's a 1v1
second
you're
kill
mentioning
dan
again.
kill ketiga dengan 1 peluru saja.
King on the swing
Teng.
out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that shot in the
King,
clean.
King.
It just looks
King.
unbelievable. Kicks did a backflip. Facts. So it will be a timeout now for Vitality.
As you
Always
see the
Aspas
vintage
ketika timeout
Aspas
selalu
timeout
tidur.
position.
Tajam banget.
And now for Vitality,
Semoga
you showed
kalau
quite
gue
a
ada
bit
PC
of
tajam itu,
contact to
guys.
style, contact
FPS
approach.
drop alasannya.
Maybe you're going to see a
Kecuali
change of
internet
pace,
nolak, ya itu
more
wajar lah ya.
execute-heavy round.
Ah enggak, ini masih kill issue aja gue mah.
Safe, he wasn't able to save that operator
Sorry.
into the round. So he will probably be on
Kill
rifle.
issue guys.
And it is a good time to
4-6
change the
dengan
pace,
skor dipimpin oleh
honestly.
Yeah, but
Leviathan
are
di
you
sini.
not
Timeout
expecting
itu
that
oleh
on the
tim
other side of a
Vitality.
timeout
Dan
too? For as
masing-masing
much as
sudah
we've seen
menggunakan
slow
satu
round
timeout
after
dan
slow round
tersisa
after
satu
slow
timeout
round,
lagi dari
you would
kedua tim.
expect, okay, this is now when they're going to dial it up. This is where they're going to try to hit you in the mouth.
Di match
But
pertama
Lev don't
ini.
even know if they can handle that yet. They don't know if they can
Yeah.
weather the storm of the
Sure.
hit because they haven't had to yet.
Sure.
Baiklah.
So even though you know it's coming, you really don't know
4
how
orang
to fare.
Karabime dengan killjoy seperti biasa menjaga flank dari arah
Obviously, Leviathan are going to be
Betul-betul
confident,
Karabime.
playing behind that harbor wall and
Sure.
trying to hold as much space as they can.
If I'm not
Just don't really
mistaken, we've seen that wall from Sender every single round towards B. So on the other side of this timeout, no change there.
Apa juga ya ngomong terus.
The turret's still mid as well. I mean, so far we aren't seeing much of a different
Ada
look.
leader dari Club untuk menjaga info dan King bersama Aspas nge-push ke arah belt
new.
di sini.
Leviathan, they've done this
Depan
quite a bit
info,
in NA.
4 orang
Really
ke
surprised
arah
that they didn't give that
Emin,
orb over
members
to
Emin
Kong.
dan Killjoy
One way from
dari
Zolti,
Tex
decided
dibiarkan
to give it
sendiri
to
di arah
Zolti instead,
B-side.
and they're fully pushing here. They've got the
Menjaga
drone
push
over
dari
the
tim
top, and they're going to have a swing
Vitality
down
di
low.
sini.
The timing.
Oh, apakah
I think he heard it. He's
apakah
got to
King bisa
understand
melakukan
there's a
kill
little bit
atau
of
dia akan
recovery, but he's
dibunuh
been
oleh
left on his
oh
own to his
timingnya
own devices,
dan
trying to
Aspas
stay
mati.
alive, and
Oh,
Aspas
sangat
goes
sayang
down,
sekali
but
karena dia tidak
that's the
kiri.
safety valve. So
Sangat
now
sayang
they're going to
sekali.
have to deal with the
4
crunch,
lawan
and it could
4,
be coming
apakah
from mid, it could be coming from spawn.
Tex bisa melawan
It might not
dia
matter though.
gagal diburu oleh
They fully
Saif.
lost contain on the
Mid
other side, so
dijaga
Vitality gladly will push
oleh
all the way
Sender,
into spawn.
Sender dan juga Tex menjaga
Understanding the threat is
flank dari
behind
arah
him.
B-main.
This is
Sender
such
bisa
an
makan
impossible
Mazino
retake,
kah?
it
Atau
feels
Mazino
like.
yang akan melakukan Sender.
Look at the
Satu
minimap,
di
like you said,
dibunuh
yeah.
oleh
Mazino,
Trex
he
di
gets
sini
taken out for
dan
free.
Sender masih
Palm with
mendukung
the
Kom juga.
It's just going to be all
1
she
lawan
wrote for
4
this
apakah
round.
King Power King dan dibunuh oleh Kicks
Good
begitu
reaction
saja
from Vitality
dengan
to speed up, taking
2
all that
peluru
space, and
cukup guys.
something very uncharacteristic from the side of Tex
6,
when they run this
5
strat in North
skor
America, when we
ke-
saw it in playoffs and etc.
Round
He's usually
ke-12.
playing very, very passive, very far back
Last-
because he is the lone warrior on the
last
site.
round
This time he tries to
before
take
the
an aim
next
duel
round.
very early on. And if he drops there, that's
Correct.
why everyone can just
Sova
push up
dan-
Snowman.
Right.
And there's
Sender
crossfire,
bunuh
infinite crossfires on
di
site.
sini.
Yeah, he
Nice,
lost contain.
6-6 guys, let's go.
6-6 guys, let's go.
We are just 1 round away from that being reality. 2 ults on the side of
Apakah
the
Leviathan
defense.
akan melakukan
Meanwhile,
skor
Kicks
ke-6
is
atau justru
on
Vitality-
track for getting, I've lost count, I think that's
maksudnya
5
Vitality
or
melakukan skor
5
ke-6 atau
ults
Leviathan melakukan
in
skor
a half.
ke-7.
It's definitely been part of the game
Aspas
plan.
menggunakan
is
operator
farming
mendapat
that
kill
ultimate.
dan
Aspas
tidak
got
kena
a
ke arah
rare
Sender.
whip. What was that?
How itu nggak kena? How guys
Just
nggak kena
enough
guys?
info for Calm to pop
Sebuah
his
miss,
ult.
oke. Ulti first
Kicks,
dibunuhkan oleh Kon.
Kicks just froze. He decided
Kon
not to
dapat
move
info.
at all. As Aspas is going to try to
Ternatek
double
para Sender
dip.
juga Saif di sini. Early drone
The
digunakan
drone
oleh
clearing one away. They
Trex.
did not spot
Melakukan info,
Mazino
apakah
though.
Mazino bisa
So he can
melakukan
take this
bunuh?
aggressive angle. He can be a
Dibunuh,
little bit
dibunuh
closer
oleh
up. He's going to find a
Ulti dua kan,
loop
apakah
around the
tidak bunuh
flash.
dan
And he's going to
dibunuh oleh
punish onto
Mazino.
Trex. But can he get out? Does he even want to get out? No, the
Dia
spike is down on the
membunuh
ground.
King
Now
di
they've got
sini
the
bunuh
reckoning as
Kicks.
Wisps give
5
away
melawan
more
3.
presence.
Apakah skor ke-7 akan diberikan kepada Leviathan atau justru
Sender
Vitality
with
yang melakukan
nowhere to
skor
go,
ke-6?
Safe
Oke,
pushing the
lagi
ladder,
diberikan oleh Saif
taking the
pada
fight
Kom
to
dan juga
Kong's lap,
3
running low
melawan
too.
3 di sini.
It seemed like
Sandiwara berhasil
such a
membunuh
secure
So far,
round for
guys,
Lev, such stable footing.
3 lawan 3 round damage.
Vitality
Apakah mereka akan
snatching
mulai
it
ke arah
back.
A,
The one thing they
Karena
haven't grabbed though,
bom
and all of that is
drop
the
di arah
spike.
B main. Di sini kita lihat.
And now there's a pit on top of it.
There are no flashes for Vitality here. There's nothing for them to really be able to disrespect this and take the fight. The one thing advantage that they have though is that they have numbers here. Aspas is so far off, he's back in
Pasti
spawn.
balik karena tidak ada waktu lagi. Menggunakan shorty, apakah mati? Dan mati berhasil bro. Oh,
It's only one found.
baiklah 2 lawan 1.
Runner now.
Apakah masih winnable untuk tim
Still
Leviathan?
alive.
Masih winnable.
Still without the spike in hand and with 13
Karena-
seconds
oh,
left.
no time,
How
no
in the
time.
world does he do this?
Harus cari kill.
time.
Dibunuh. Nice, let's
Early
go.
Vecino, he
Skor
cleans it up, 3 to the
Leviathan
round.
di sini dengan skor sebentar 7-5 next.
They'll take the last
Oh,
round, 7-5 half. It was a bit of a back and forth exchange throughout this entire map. But Leviathan off of their timeout, they made good
dia
adaptations.
mereka kekencangan,
They stopped the
guys.
contact approach that Vitality was having a lot of success
It's
with.
okay, it's alright.
Somehow. To be honest, I don't really know how because it felt like they were still finding a lot of openings. They were still finding a lot of success either way. A 7-5 half the way of Leviathan. We do have a special little interview standing by. Calm, heavily beloved in the Valorant scene. His fiance is standing by on the stage right now. Let's take a listen.
Istirahat dulu, haus kau anjing.
Hello everyone and welcome to the halftime interview. I have Maddie, Com's fiance, here with me to talk about today. 콤 선수의 약혼자 메디님 만나보도록 하겠습니다. 먼저 오늘 레비아탄이 꽤나 중요한 경기를 앞두고 그리고 지금 플레이하고 있는데 오늘 콤 선수의 컨디션 좀 어때 보이던가요? So for today, it's a big match for Lev. It's do or die. How was Com feeling this morning?
Com was feeling great this morning. He was in a really happy mood, a goofy mood. He woke up and he started playing all this fun music. So of course we had a dance party this morning. So the vibes are good today.
Can you show me some of the moves he was pulling?
Those are classified.
콤 선수 오늘 컨디션이 굉장히 좋았기 때문에 또 음악도 크게 틀어놓고 너무너무 해피한 상황에서 둘이 좀 댄스 파티도 하면서 좀 분위기를 북돋았다고 컨디션 너무너무 좋다고 했었고 그리고 콤 선수가 그러면 뭐 어떤 춤을 췄는지 조금만 보여달라고 했더니 그거는 비밀이라고 얘기를 했습니다. 그러면 또 파파콤도 그리고 콤 선수도 이번 챔피언스가 특별하다고 얘기를 많이 했거든요. 메디님도 이제 콤 선수의 한국 쪽 가족을 많이 만나볼 기회가 있었는데 전반적으로 이번 챔피언스 경험 어떤지도 물어보도록 하겠습니다. So Papa Com and Com mentioned that Champion Seoul has been extra special for them, you know, coming from the Korean route. You got to meet their family on the Korean side as well. So what's that experience been like for you?
Being here in Korea and meeting Corbin's family is absolutely awesome. They're super, super sweet and they made this delicious food and I'm super happy to be here and meet everybody.
콤 선수의 한국 쪽 가족분들이 너무너무 잘 대해주고 굉장히 친절하게 대해주셨고 또 메디님이 온다고 하니까 정말 푸짐하게 한상을 차려주셔서 음식도 맛있게 먹었고 이렇게 해서 좀 멀리 있는 가족들도 만나볼 수 있어서 너무 좋은 경험이고 기회였다고 얘기를 하는데요. 그러면 마지막으로 콤 선수에게 응원의 한마디 부탁해보도록 하겠습니다. Now I saw you guys, you know, exchanging the looks and like you guys were waving hands together. So anything you want to say to Com?
Yes. Corbin, I hope you have a super fun time. Be goofy, have fun. You got it. Love you.
항상 재밌게 오늘 경기 치르고 그리고 에너지를 잃지 말고 좋은 경기 펼치라고 응원의 한마디 해줬습니다. 이렇게 해서 메디님 만나봤고요. 부럽네요. 아이스박스로 다시 돌아가도록 하시죠. Now back to Icebox.
Thank you so much, Jen. Yeah, Leviathan up 2 rounds here. Now they're going to be in the attack side. I think, Dre, we just saw an attack half that I don't feel like I've ever really seen before. It was just such a methodical pace, and we've seen how Leviathan likes to approach the attack side of Icebox. I don't think we're in for the same idea.
Yeah, no, I think you're going to see a much different of a pace from Leviathan. That was so unique from Vitality. What a unique game plan. And just freezing to the rounds off a weird space taken.
Speaking of space taken, look at how far up Safe is already. And he's by himself here. He's been inserted.
Safe di sini bisa melawan Com
There's
dan
no one to
Com
help
tidak
him in
melakukan
case
info
the
dari
fight goes his
sini.
way. The only one who's kind of close
Jika
by would be
bukan
Com.
Dan saya bersama Com.
Bullet buzzing by.
Sama-sama
But meanwhile,
di
Leviathan, all attention other than Com towards B.
bersama dengan
Center
Mazino
playing
di
back
sini.
yellow
Tapi Sender
with a little bit of help over the top from
Jaga
Kings.
Heaven, apakah bisa kill dan gagal kali.
He dashes backside. I mean,
Push ke
Center's
arah
gonna
yellow.
have a lot to deal with.
I mean, it's this contact approach from
Pelan,
both teams.
pelan.
Maybe we're in store for a
Yellow
similar
berhenti oleh
half from
Aspas.
Leviathan.
They've crept up, and we saw the insertion of Safe across the middle of the map. Now we've got the same thing for
Tapi
Aspas.
teman-temannya
We've got
balik
them
semua ke arah
rotating
mid.
back mid.
Dan
And Safe hears
berhasil
all of
mendapatkan info
this.
kalau mereka balik. They rotate,
Lev need to
go
be very
A,
careful
go
in
to
this
A.
moment.
Mazino berhasil
One
di
shot,
di sini hanya
one
dapat
shot,
one
one
dari
kill.
sampai sedikit red. 5
Beautifully done by Safe.
Apakah Leviathan masih bisa
He's
menang
led
round
the
ini?
charge in both pistol rounds, Doug.
Tex
But
berhasil
Tex answers
membunuh
back on
Tex
the
di sini.
tracks.
Sebuah
And
kill
the
yang
thing is
sangat
now,
menakutkan.
there's a lot, there's a
Bunuh
enough
saya di
doubt
sini sambil menang 2 kill.
there's no real understanding of which way they're going. As
4
the orb
lawan
continues
3.
dropping down,
Apakah saya bisa menangkan kill
there's not
ketiganya?
enough cues to
Atau
understand if
justru
they're going
dia
back
akan
A or
mati
going
oleh
back B.
teman-teman
Yeah, they
tim
have the
Leviathan.
killjoy utility
4
towards A, and
lawan
that's
3.
enough.
2 orang mid,
Passive
apakah
info to
dibunuh
understand it to be hit.
Terkena
That shock whizzing
Satu
by, not doing a ton. 13 seconds left.
Untuk
King on the
membunuh.
flank. Spike's
Makanya
not
mereka
planted.
kena-
Runner now trying to do a bit of the same. It's Aspas by himself. I don't think he's going to get this either.
No time.
no time. Aspas
I mean,
belum
Kix is
kill,
gonna
tapi
try to
akan
hunt him
dibunuh
down. He's gonna
oleh
find
Kix
him.
dengan tulis saya hanya dengan ghost dari
The slow
Kix.
approach.
Jadi,
It worked against Leviathan, but safe. What a
jadi
round in the
Leviathan,
middle of the
kenapa
map.
mereka balik,
He was so
Kenapa
confident
mereka
taking all
balik?
those aim duels. He double dipped, triple dipped back in.
Saat dia Mazir dibunuh hanya dengan satu peluru oleh Saif.
And for good reason.
Nah, itu kill
He
kedua Saif
basically
itu dia
single-handedly
ngebunuh
gave
si
his team an advantage in that round. What a shot off the rip. If this is what we're in store for, it's just going to be aim duels across the board, contact style, 50-50s.
Vitality.
Safe, he's looking very, very calm.
Leviathan Tex ya.
So it will be another pistol round win. Or Vitality. And an outlaw buy from Safe once more. 2 Bulldogs in play. Trek's the only one sitting on that Ghost, but it's only light armor for Vitality. So although they committed a big investment on the actual arsenal of weapons, you know, the guns, they don't really have the armor to match that.
3
That
orang,
could be
4
very,
orang
very
daripada
bad for them.
Karabina
This
Aspas.
class can do so much damage.
Diduga
That hurts.
Mazino
That was just
sudah
one
mewasih, apakah
volley.
Mazino akan mati oleh Saif dari sini? Kita
But a lot
lihat
of space
Mazino
gathered.
bisa menjaga
Second one
menjaga
pop.
arah Snowman.
Pretty beast right
Apakah
now.
I don't
dari
know how free it
Trex
is.
bisa membunuh
Sender's right there.
Mazino di sini
And Trex is
atau
close
Runner yang
by,
dibunuh?
Runner's
Runner
close
dibunuh.
by.
Mazino
It's an
dengan
illusion of
Kom
safety. It's an
bunuh.
illusion of
Sender dan Kick berhasil
being
membunuh
able to
Kom.
waltz into the side and get the spike down, but it's
Runner
all
di
for
sini.
naught.
What a great molly. Oh
Oke,
my
sebuah warning
goodness,
dari
just
Kick.
fishing him
Bisa
out.
membunuh Aspas dengan hanya
Aspas
sharing,
on his
apakah bisa
lone
membunuh
weakness.
Guardian di sini
What can he
membunuh
do?
Trex. 1, 2, 3 sebuah
Another
shot dari
1vx
Kokan, dan
situation
Oh,
where there's way too much being asked of him.
And just like that, it's a tie game.
7. 2 round sudah dimenangkan oleh Vitality.
Oh, Trex, he couldn't find a rifle,
Next
so
half, guys.
a little bit worse for wear there. Good damage done from Lev, considering you know,
half round,
how that round
Apa
was
sih
going
guys,
at the
ini lah.
start of it. That molly damage, that setup was pretty clean from Vitality.
I mean, both have so far. I know we've only seen 2 rounds on this defensive side for Vitality, but this map of Icebox for them so far has been incredible to watch.
And Kix has been so impressive in this entire map. He's already 2 orbs away from another Thrash.
Oke.
Cascade on the
Sebuah
other side
wall
to ping
early
through if there's
digunakan oleh
any
tim
tap of the
Leviathan
spike.
untuk mengcover arah
Imagine there
A-mainnya
will be a barrage of
agar
bullets.
tidak ada yang nge-push. Drone digunakan oleh Trex di sini dan juga Kom masih menggunakan, tapi Aspas terkena attack di sini.
That drone will make him have to waste that
Saif
dash
menggunakan
out.
outlawnya.
See those
Outlawnya
walls going up as well.
Atas kelihatan.
There's the
Kelihatan.
dash that you mentioned
Nggak kelihatan
expired.
itu.
Safe just saw his shoulder.
Nggak kelihatan.
Now the drop down.
What
The spike
the
still
heck,
leading
guys?
towards A. You've got 2 members from the
Wow.
attack side creeping B, but not fully committing yet.
Dia akan mati oleh Kom atau justru Kom yang akan mati.
And another freeze to the round.
It's so insane.
Sebuah jiggle pick dari
Everyone
Kom.
is so scared
menjaga
to make
area
a
push.
mistake. But it's for good reason. The shots that these players have been hitting from both sides, they've been instant. No one wants to make a mistake. No one wants to be that guy that loses the round for their team.
Comstart is
40
back
detik
up.
lagi akan
And then the wall is refreshed too. So a little bit of making some noise B, trying to clear some utility, intended to manipulate the rotations back towards A, but discipline from
tapi
that
Trex
from
ini melakukan
Vitality
kill
once
Mazino
more.
5 melawan 4 dan
And
27
Mazino,
detik
he was
lagi
the lone warrior there. He
untuk
just got taken
nge-plant
out for
bomb.
free.
Apakah
Trex is going to hold that angle any day of the
akan
week.
kalah dari Vitality.
It seemed like the fake was going to be B and then an end A, but with Mazino going down A, they decide to go for the other plan. The problem is, again, there are 10 seconds left in the round. Almost all of Vitality is here. With the lighter weaponry, they still have a meal of Leviathan. The bone is converted.
Hanya begitu saja karena terkena outlaw.
Vitality are stuffing Leviathan in the chokes. And it's not even off the back of that much utility. It's just the fear of their aim alone. Leviathan don't like what they're seeing on the map, so they're second guessing themselves. They're going back and forth like a seesaw. And then the time just runs so low. And they can't do anything. You're kind of forced. You're kind of forced to just have to rush in with no time left. you can't really do your due diligence and clear out everything. You're just going in blind at that point.
Right.
So Lab, they need to up the pace. They need to be more confident and not be so hesitant. That's what we're seeing right here. It's just going to be their A hit.
It's an A hit with Stingers, a Guardian, and then a couple of shares.
Safe gets taken down very, very low. But the Dizzy over the top.
And the shots that could have almost been deadly. But Kicks is...
mati dibunuh oleh Kicks. Tanam bunuh Mazino.
I mean, it was more of a decisive hit, yes, but it feels like it's the same result. Although note here, Runner and Safe both very weak. King not much better off. Look at the discipline, man. They're not giving him single fights.
All three players corralled backside.
This has just been beautiful from Vitality, unless King can slip the net. Even then, you find one, maybe. That's all it'll be. Vitality get to 9, and they've done so on both sides of the ball in beautiful fashion.
A great flood from Vitality off of Kicks' Dizzy. Everyone able to take space in the backside. Leviathan, nobody was watching Heaven whatsoever. Look at this freebie. I mean, no one looking at him. Yeah, King trades it, but the damage was already done.
Take on, yeah? Let's go, mafioso.
Let's go, my field.
I mean, the calmness is working. The
so calm.
the pace, the approach to all of this has been beautiful.
And I think that's a testament to how the gameplay has shown so far from Vitality. It has felt very calm. It has felt very methodical.
It does feel like it's been a stoic approach from both teams, but we talked earlier about the war of attrition and who it was going to favor. It really feels like it's gone the way of Vitality here. Arguably more than the score would suggest. Again, more of a decisive hit from Lev. All 5 towards A. Spike goes down from Kami. He's going to have his ult online. King one away from his. Meanwhile, Kicks with another Thrash to play with.
Insane.
Waiting for the right moment to strike. Now committing onto it as Runner tries to spam through. Safe creeping forward. Tucking behind the smoke. Mazino spams through it and will find a target.
There it is.
Yeah, they seem to be overwhelming Vitality here. This was notably more decisive. It was notably faster. And it was more successful.
That's the Leviathan we know. I've never seen them take such a slow approach on attack icebox as they've shown on this map so far. They usually set the pace. They push teams to their limit. Aspas takes a bunch of aim duels backside at A. Or even when he gets deposited at yellow, he's hunting for them. He's not just sitting and waiting, biding his time. He's got such good aim. When he's put in a spot like that, he needs to use it to his advantage. But Mazino, he was the one that stepped up here, getting the spam kill, getting all the follow-ups.
I mean, as soon as you see that jet smoke go down, given how short it is, there's a really good chance there's somebody in there trying to catch a timing around it, and Mazino just reads it well.
That's the power of the Phantom as well. Why not?
Yeah, sure.
No tracers on the other end of it. Looks like it will be another A default from the side of Leviathan.
I don't know that I would even call it a default at this point if they just continue to fully send.
Just
I mean,
a 5 send.
Yeah.
Different angles being taken now from Vitality though. More close approach.
They're investing a lot into this.
Yeah.
2 ults, the wall over the top, Safe is dead. Kicks might get spammed down as well, he will. A lot behind this punch as Mazino finds 2. Leviathan knocking on the door of a tie game. Unless Sender and Runner can pull off a miracle.
Great off angle. Aspas. Audio cue to King.
One step of the way there. Sender now pushing forward into his death as there were 3 still remaining. Leviathan have dialed up the pace these last couple of rounds and it has been successful.
And it could have just been part of their game plan. Let's approach the first couple of rounds slow. Make Vitality think that we're a team that's changing our own game plan and then go back to the tide of truth.
Dude, that replay right there just shows how literally impossible it is to play on the site. And again, if King continues to call this way and he continues to kind of accelerate a little bit, you are going to be stepped back a little bit. You are going to get pushed back if you're the defense.
Nasty, nasty stuff.
Safe with Blades, her light armor for all of the defense.
It's another A. But this time Tex, he's going to work up middle. And I like this.
I like this from Safe. With Blades popped, all of these hits towards A.
Oh my goodness, he gets the first. He gets the second.
And now the smoke down to try to dash out and stay alive. That's beautifully done from Safe once more. Careful now.
Oh my god, Aspas tidak.
Almost finding a third. The spike's still up. Numbers the way of the defense. For as quickly as that round started, Leviathan picked apart. And now Vitality can slow things down and play things the way they've wanted to play this entire map.
Harbor Wall isolates so much of the site though. Safety's gonna have to push through to meet up with Kicks. They just played a disciplined game.
There's still so many members here.
Yeah.
Mazzino with the Cove. As it goes down, Mazzino does too. Aspas is going to have to pull off a bloody miracle. Now left in a 1v2. Spotting the ankles of Safe and understanding where some of the starts are list. 35 seconds left. There's a shot at this. He's got to commit to the plant though. And that's exactly what he does. Spid at his feet, tanks it a little bit. And it's just a bit too much. Outnumbered and outgunned, Vitality respond.
The solo push from Safe. Leviathan thought that they did it. They thought it was all clear. They used the correct utility. But King, he just got taken out in the follow-up. It was too much. I mean, this is such a close angle to hold. You're not expecting something like that.
And the fact that he gets away with two, almost lands a third. It's just really impressive. I mean, again, the desk was talking about it. Seal mentioned it on the desk. He looks towards Safe. To be the one to dial things up, to get in their faces, that's exactly what we just saw that round.
And he's brought the momentum from his last series into this one. He was popping off. Now he has that operator.
17 and 11. Perched up over 410. Get out of my way. Do they continue to try to hit this site?
Another 5-man A off the top ropes.
Nicely done with the blades as he looks for a second. He had the drone to pave the way. And again, this is the aggression. This is the faster pace that we expect. It's like they're beckoning them to challenge these walls, to try to face through. That's exactly what they have to do here. As the Hunter Suri comes out, Aspas with Op, they're going to have to deal with this lockdown too. They don't really have a response to this either.
Players inside, it gets broken for free. Aspas just holding an off angle. There's 2 shock darts for Calm right now.
And again, the Op sender down. As the walls go through, Trex gets 2, makes that 3! Mazzino left alone. And it's not really, it's just barely planted for him, but I don't think he can get that angle in time. He's has to get up close and personal kicks waiting on the other side.
Nice kill, Mazzino. Mazzino save the day dari tim Leviathan di sini.
Trex tried his best, but Mazzino, he was too strong with the Phantom. The jiggling back and forth. Spots him off with a spike. And another clutch for him. He's woken up. He's online right now. This entry. Safe, he had no time. You cannot hear that audio cue.
From that distance.
Oh my god. Trex almost went nuclear in that moment. That was absurd.
I mean, he got 3.
Even his movement, he was jumping off of the rope. And relief for King, who, by the way, is sitting at 20 kills. The IGL of Leviathan.
Well, I think that's one of the things that makes Leviathan so strong, and that's what's made them so strong throughout the years. You know what you're going to get with Aspas, but Tex has been such an anchor for this squad, not just in defensively holding aside, obviously, but in the way he's been able to perform match after match. And then when King gets involved too, this is not like a atypical performance for him. 20 and 14 so far, he's looking great, but man, Vitality have really shown up on Icebox here.
Yeah, it's a map that they're 5 and 4 on. It's not their best map, right? But the game plan that they implemented got them this far. They're pushing Leviathan. It's a tie game right now, and it's still up for grabs. And somebody that you talked about earlier that I want to touch on is Tex. He's had a rough one. Icebox is normally a map where he shines. He's up there with Aspas usually.
Yeah, he's quiet now.
But he's been getting shut down. He's been getting shut out.
Vitality here knocking on the doorstep of stealing away Leviathan's map pick. Meanwhile, the attacking side.
Just go A.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it has been successful for him, so why not?
Yeah.
Vitality actively denying mid space, denying B space. They dropped the reckoning here.
And by the way, Doug, there's no Killjoy utility watching the flank that deep. So Heaven is completely open.
I'm surprised they committed the pit on this as well. Make that 2. How in the world do you navigate through this? I mean, with pistols, you have a drone and stuff like that, but otherwise, you're just kind of face-checking it.
Heaven, Vitality, he's going to get some free kills here. No one's aware so far.
The Thrash will help. Safe over the top, now dashing forward. Aspas is looking for him as well, but you've got kicks to deal with too. Tricks. Oh, nice sneaking up onto Tex. No way. That would have been so silly. Kicks is the one who steals the kill away, though, as Vitality take the lead again.
From the start of the round, it was a B push right away. Vitality, they didn't have good weaponry. The only rifle was in the hands of Safe. Of course he's going to push all the way through. Leviathan have only hit A for the last how many rounds?
Yeah, five maybe.
And Tex, and Tex didn't put an aggressive turret that was watching mid or the B push. It was so passive. Heaven was completely open the entire round. Aspas, he had too many angles to look at.
Best get calls in the game, bro. Let's go.
Seriously, I mean, he's
got so many. Yeah. Oh, also, how many thrifties is that? Is that 4? MasterCard's getting their money's worth.
Yeah, something obnoxious.
And so I guess now that they've been beaten on A, they make a little noise towards B. Weaponry not great here, just 2 rifles.
It's so interesting with how many rounds Leviathan have won in a row that there's only 2 rifles on play.
They just had the drone clear out a lot of A, so that's going to allow for the rotation from Vitality back towards B, leaving Safe back A, sure, but the vast majority of their defense is here.
Oh, this is too much for Aspas to handle. Dart.
What a gorgeous combo of utility.
What the fuck?
And then again, Trex and Sender, a flawless round to get Vitality to map point. The dart over the bottom, the dizzy over the top on the other side of the wall. That's how you disrespect Harbor utility.
It's so clean. And Trex, it took him a little bit, but he's here. He showed up. What was that spray down?
What a massive moment. We have another timeout called from Leviathan, the last from either team. As Vitality again, 1 round away from sealing Icebox.
And it's been such a team effort across the board from Vitality. Safe has had his pop-off moments, but the game plan has been to farm that Thrash on both sides. Let alone with the performance he's having, it just makes it feel like he has it every other round, and he's had it.
Almost every other round, you're right.
And also Vitality winning that last round cleanly without having to use that Killjoy ultimate, that lockdown. You have that now. And all you need is 1 round to close this one out. Tough stuff ahead of Leviathan. They're going to have to try to bait out these ultimates, try to not get first blooded. I mean, after losing that Thrifty round, that was an operator that was donated into the hands of Safe.
I don't know how they're ever going to do this, man. I'm not going to lie to you. They've got a Spectre to deal with, light armor on comm.
It's so tough.
They have to find a way, though.
They haven't really worked the map at all, though. They haven't really gone mid. They've like pretty much only gone A. They went B 1 round, not shown any B default.
And it was not a light buy, but it seems like they're going to try to hit A again.
Mereka
This time,
ada di
Safe
dan berhasil mendapatkan kill.
finding Mazzino.
Sang di sini berhasil
A
memburu
bullet between
Majino
his eyes.
5-4 dengan 4 untuk tim Leviathan. Apakah Leviathan masih bisa winnable untuk mendapatkan skor jadi 11-12 ataukah justru akan menjadi skor 13 untuk tim Vitality? Kita lihat di sini Tex berhasil mendapatkan pipe. Mau dikorkan.
The cloud burst through, the dash up, the drone out, sure. But now here's the problem. Even if you do get out on the site, you've got to deal with the lockdown. You've got to deal with Trex's ult.
Killjoy dari
and they just don't know what they want to do. Half in, half out. There's hesitation across the board.
And they don't really have the middle of the map either. And there it is, the safe, the op in the hands of Safe.
Safe akan mendapat kill berhasil digagalkan
Wise to do it,
oleh Runner
understanding where their weakness was, where their gap lied.
Berhasil jiggle.
But the thing is, they have nothing to suggest that they've left A. So they're all still here. They're just walking
Runner 4-4 dengan
Vitality's crosshair, but Com's able to win that duel out. How much more can they find as, again, the walls are closing in, they're getting crunched on. You've got Sender who's creeping right behind them, nipping at their heels, hot to trot. Aspas wise to it, but they've still got to deal with the rest of the defensive Vitality. They still have to deal with getting the spike down.
2 melawan 3, apakah bisa winnable untuk tim Leviathan?
And on their third attempt, it seems like they will succeed.
3 melawan 3, play disiplin. Play
Now it's on
disiplin,
Vitality to
bisa
figure out this post-fight
save.
situation. This
Hanya
retake
operator.
with an op in the hands of the
Sama dengan
duelist.
Trex di sini, Trex menjaga elbow. Dan save
Lev have to
ganti
play
ke arah
this very
4 down.
carefully.
Satu ketahuan.
Vitality have been so good in
Okay,
these
nice.
situations.
Okay.
Trex,
Dua
can he be the
melawan
hero
satu.
again? Not
Nice.
this time.
Skor 11.
Leviathan get to
Meningkat
11.
kepada tim Leviathan. Jadi
And that
11
was
12. Apakah
nearly
ini akan menjadi 12
impossible
sama
for
untuk
Leviathan.
overtime atau
They
jadi
had no
13
hover wall to
11
actually
karena
execute
skor
onto the A
signifikan.
site.
Kita tidak ada yang tahu.
But the contact approach
Tidak
in
ada
that
yang tahu
moment,
guys. Kita
the
overtime.
setup here
Kita
from
tidak
Com
overtime,
breaking
overtime,
through.
overtime,
Runner, he gets taken out. There was no follow-up. And the Hunter's Fury, yeah, was invested. It created commotion and chaos. Safe was able to convert 1 kill off of that, but the fighting squad was too much on A.
They've just relied so heavily on winning these gunfights.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw it in that round. There was nothing to suggest they had left A. They didn't have mid control. They didn't have any noise B.
Save di sini Save hanya menggunakan outlaw.
And it just so happened that they were able to win out the aim duels.
This is a really good buy from Safe, buying the Outlaw, understanding that the economy was broken a bit.
At least.
From the side of left.
Leviathan looking to push this to OT.
Berarti bisa gimana sih?
You hear the Outlaw go off. Start not tagging anyone. And
Lalu
Com's
oleh
ult.
Com. Dan Gecko
Again,
sudah
causing
slowly.
chaos. No
Oke,
real
ketahuan
damage
Aspas
dealt
berhasil
though.
menguasai di
Safe
sini. Oke, 5
falls.
lawan 4. Apakah Aspas
Big kill out from Aspas. He tries to get high ground.
Dia
Dizzy's
sembunyi.
cleared.
Oh, kill
That
kedua.
shock's gonna hurt
Oke,
though.
nice.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt.
2
As Trex
melawan 2.
gets another.
Oke, Com.
A 2v2
Dua
now
melawan
for
dua.
the round. Calm up top.
Oke.
Almost able to clutch it out. But Mazzino
Nice,
delivers.
Mazzino save the
We're
day.
going to OT.
Mazzino save the day again and
In the
again
last
and
2
again and
rounds.
again.
Com has had
Overtime
such
12
big impact.
sama guys. Apakah ini
He
akan
may be
menjadi
sitting at 14
skor
kills,
sangat sengit?
but the kills that he's
14-12,
accumulating,
14-13,
they win
ataukah
the rounds.
15-13?
Take a look at this again.
Bisa
We're
lebih lagi.
really starting to see both teams really push each other and push themselves to the limits. Trex in the value he's had. You mentioned Com, how good he's been. Almost hits the third here.
Yeah, the flick.
Almost hits the snap down onto a runner.
The follow-up was great. What a battle.
Aspas dengan santainya.
What a first map. I did not expect this from the side of Vitality. I did not expect them to push Leviathan like this.
12 sama.
Leviathan showing they can push
Com.
back. At
Nge-push
least a little
arah
bit.
belt.
And so the
Sebuah lagi
defensive
dengan
side again.
Trex
For the
berhasil
number
dibunuh.
1
Trex
seed
begitu
from
saja.
America's Trex a little bit too far ahead of
Trex dan
things.
juga div Trex guys. Kita lihat guys.
Very overeager.
5 lawan 4.
That's another one going down.
Saif berhasil.
And the
dia sekarang
approach is very
4-10 dan
different here for
berhasil
Vitality. As much as we
membunuh
talked
Com.
about them playing it slow, them playing it carefully, they accelerate a little bit here in the first round of
4
OT.
lawan 2.
It seems like it was ill-advised.
Tim Leviathan bisa memenangkan
Kicks
round
and sender
kedua.
left to figure out where it all went wrong
2 lawan 4.
in a 2v4. Now they slow it down again.
Fender bersama
A minute
Kicks
left in the round though.
menjaga elbow.
It's going to be so tough. It's a firing
Apakah
squad to
Kicks
jiggle.
bisa kill dan ternyata
Three
dibunuh oleh Mazzino
members.
gitu ya karena dia
Primed and
terlalu
ready.
terbuka.
There's really no way in on this.
4 lawan 1.
Oh, that's a
Dia
1v1 though.
dia
Another
kedua
one.
dia dibunuh oleh Sender. Oke, 2 lawan 1. Masih bisa kill
He
3.
still
Oke,
has to get a couple more. 6
Oke,
bullets
ternyata
left and he
Aspas
can't
better
close it
dari
out.
Sender. Di sini kita
And
lihat.
so Leviathan take the lead back
13,
for, I
12
believe
apakah
for the
menjadi
first
comeback
time
di
since
sini?
the pistol of the second half, maybe?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Unreal. Taxi finally steps up. This is what he's known for on this map. On the killjoy on the defensive side. I mean, look at those shots.
Yeah, those were crispy. And then Mazzino too.
Yo, I sat these kids down, bro.
He definitely did.
And that might be the most emotive thing we've ever seen out of Tex.
I don't think I've ever seen him smile.
Right here.
And so Lev
Kembali
up
dibunuh
one round
oleh Com.
in the first bout of OT.
Juga Aspas berhasil
Aggression
ke arah
from the
bawah.
defense again,
Tapi
they're
dia
so
tidak
far
tahu
up.
kalau di netnya ada orang.
Another fight towards
Oke,
A.
dia pernah dengan
Aspas
Aspas.
slips the net.
Kill kedua.
But Trex over the
Oh,
top.
ternyata Trex masih membunuh Tex tapi
little bit
masih
of damage
ditekan
out,
oleh
a little bit
5
of kills
4
found,
lawan
but
3.
still advantage the way of the number 1 seed from Americas.
Skornya menjadi 14-12 atau justru
The
menjadi
drone
3
pushing
bersama overtime
through.
lagi
2
kita lihat.
members left here and they're ahead of this
Aspas
wall.
berhasil
They're
push ke
ahead
arah
of the
Seth tapi bisa
utility.
membunuh.
They've
Gecko di
got to
sini
win these
ternyata dia
fights
berhasil
out
dibunuh
though, and they're
Gecko.
just outnumbered.
Dan masih di-trade.
There's no
Oke,
way
3
they have
melawan
enough.
1,
Now
apakah
they have
Sender
the
bisa
reckoning
membuat
that Sender's
ini?
going to have to deal
Atau
with, the
justru
1v3 to
Sender
keep the map
akan
alive.
kalah. Kan
For
dia sangat
as
menjebol
much
sekali untuk tim Leviathan.
As
Dia
they
terlalu
pushed
turun pertama.
Leviathan, for as much as they bended,
Ente fit.
does
Apakah
not
Vitality
seem
yang
like
kalah?
they will break.
Seperti Vitality sudah kalah 3 lawan 1 udah win ini udah
Com's
nggak
wrapping
mungkin.
all the way
Sedangkan
back
Leviathan
around
udah
as
balik
well.
semua
King has
tuh,
a
main di
molly.
belakang semua.
There's
Itu
still
no
a
way banget
cascade
tim
in play.
Leviathan kalah.
it would take a huge
tap
blunder,
dikit.
one of the
Molly
biggest
kan
we've
sudah,
ever
wow,
seen
udah sih.
on the main
Udah sih.
stage.
Oke, Molly juga di kuartal
Center
center.
dropping the spit, exchanging for the one at his feet.
Oke, early di kan, oke, off.
Dart behind him
Udah, main
too.
tim.
I mean,
Di spray dan begitu
this
saja
has to be the most
mati.
miserable position for a player to be in.
14-12 untuk
Again,
tim Leviathan
Vitality pushed him.
dengan poin pertama.
Vitality really
dipegang oleh
gave
tim
Leviathan a lot to think about, mainly on the attacking
Nice.
side, but it was just not enough at the end. Leviathan weather things out.
Sunset
They
next
close out Icebox, 14-12. Sunset on the other side of this. We'll be right back.
Nah guys, untuk gua gak kalah guys ininya. Udah balik modal gua. Double guys. Full. Tadi sih dari 10-12 gila beribat loh. 10-12, 11-12, 12 sama tuh gila. Guys, gimana guys? Menurut kalian tuh perlu beli monitor lagi guys? Karena di bawah ini tuh ada apa? Ada dead pixel tuh, satu garis tuh. Iya ada dead pixel ya. Beli monitor guys, beli lagi kan? Monitor sekarang jadi halus tuh guys. Monitor bisa dapat lagi. Ini tadi di awal. Enggak gitu tuh si AOC 2 One G2 ini tuh berapa harga dulu? Atau 65 enggak bukan ini 27 ya. Bukan ini, pokoknya ada 24 inch AOC 24 inch 180 Hz 1,9 belum perlu nggak salah ya. Nah guys, untuk poin kedua kalian nonton lagi langsung di Twitch atau kalian nonton ke streamer YouTube yang lain atau TikTok yang lain ya guys ya. Karena gue tahu guys. Untuk PS kita kayaknya nggak bisa nonton. Teman-teman mungkin bisa nonton kalau misalnya dia juga gitu. Oke. Streamer ini mau jadi hamba. Nih ajak nih di YouTube juga Power Esport Indonesia ada. Ko Wilson lagi live stream juga. Siapa lagi watch party? Coba. Ini gua. Ini Ko Wilson. Ini siapa nih? Sian Gears, gak tahu siapa. Banyak guys, kalian cari aja guys. Oke. So, kita coba nonton Sel Jaya. Ngapain nonton gua guys? Ngapain nonton lagi? Kalau gue menjadi gua sendiri, double. Dah. Sengaja. Oke. So, kita ketemu seru-seru ini. Bisa Hanjaya, yang terima kasih DJ Vincent. Oke, bye bye guys. Ntar kita berlatih lagi ya malaman guys. Bye bye.